welcome to drawing together with me. Normally I am making a tile with the patterns from the last page that we done, but today I'm gonna do it a bit different because I was thinking about making some kind of merch, maybe a playing card or something, and I just want to make another pattern on that one. So I'm using a fight tile here, and I'm hoping it will have the size that I need for a playing card, and I can always change it a bit up on my computer, but we are going to use the fight tile here. Let me just adjust the camera a bit. I am going to start with my border. Normally I'm gonna pop in the corner dots, but my corner dots always kind of annoys me, so I'm skipping the first step and just making my edge or my border around here because I want a border. And then I have this, this is a iris. It's a copy of an iris, so it's just a cheap version of it, but I like it. And I am going to place that on around the middle of this one. If you don't have an iris, you can always use your circle maker. So I'm just making that on there. And then I am going to do the rest with my Micron. I am going to use my black Micron PN for this one, just because I want a little bolder lines on this. That was not the PN, I'm sorry, that was the brush. I want some bolder lines on this one. Here we go, the black Micron PN. There we go, the right one. So I am going to take and draw up this circle line here. And I'm doing it in both ends. Like that. Then I am going to make a straight line around in the middle from my border to my circle, and the same down here. I'm going to make one like it's kind of going through from one corner to the other. And again, I'm doing that here as well. There we go. And then I'm gonna do one more, making this little space a little smaller. And over here as well. That got a little wonky, but oh well. And I'm going to close off this end here. So I'm just gonna make my line with my Micron. And I'm gonna do the same up here. Like that. And then I am auraing these all of these pieces here. And I'm keeping it a small aura. And I'm gonna do the same in this end. On these tiles from Zentangle, I really like normally to use the PN because the O1 is kind of too thin for me on this paper. It's kind of not working for me. I like the O1 in the journals they have from Zentangles. The paper in those are more nice to write on with the O1. This paper is a little more rough in it, so it's a little more difficult to draw on with the O1. Let me see, I'm gonna find around the middle on my drawings here. And I found this pattern somewhere and I totally don't know what it is called. But it's kind of a V shape. Going out in this curl. If I can find the name on it, I will leave it to you. And then I'm kind of taking off on the spiral and then auraing the rest of it. Now I got this side a bit longer because I'm going to kind of mirror it here, but I think I'm gonna do it like this. So I'm gonna make this side a little longer and this side a little less longer, so it's kind of mirrored here. And then again I am making the tethered aura here. There we go. Then I am going in and making kind of a rice corn shape here. And I'm making one more on top of that. This one is a tiny bit bigger. Coloring that in. And again, I'm doing the same over here. First a small one and then a longer, not bigger. And coloring that in. There we go. Then I am auraing this. No, wait, my fault. I'm going to start here and go in our arch and hit the middle point here. And I'm gonna do that on the same way on the other side. And again, I'm copying it over here. Starting and ending on that. And then I am going to make two auras. And the same over here. And I am making a fescue here, starting from the aura, going up and pointing to the middle. And then I am placing a line and 2 auras. And I'm doing the same over here. So a bent line and 2 small auras. And another small fescue. And if there is room, 3 lines. And if you have even more room than that, you can place yet another fescue. Now I am going to do the exact same thing over here. So the 2 auras, the fescue, and then the line with the 2 auras. And a fescue. And the 3 lines again. So the aura, oops, it got a little too wide. The fescue, the line, and one more, the small fescue, and a few lines. Now I am going to make this tangle, this one, and I'm just gonna start right here. So an orb and then this line, it's kind of an eye. And then I am going to make these kind of a dotted line all the way around. And then from the orb and out to the corners. And I'm hitting a different spot on the orb for each of these small V shapes here. So I'm placing a V shape down here, like that. And I'm gonna make one more over here, going the other way around. And again, this kind of dotted line. And then the little V shape in between the dotted lines. Let me put in one right here between these, the dotted line. The V shapes. I could actually have one more somewhere here. And then the dotted line and the V shapes. And then I am going to make kind of a stem. To a flower. like that, turning my tile around, and I'm gonna do the same. Don't go too near the edge, because we are going to have some fun things around there as well. So don't go too close on the edge. My dotted line and the V shapes. And I'm kind of getting too close here, so I'm turning this one downwards. And I made a little mistake there. I hope my coloring will save that or hide that later. So I'm just gonna leave it in there. It's not that big of a deal. I'm actually thinking of leaving it like that. And then making the stems. And I'm going in here making a few printemps. Just to get a little interest here. And I'm keeping a very light hand while doing this. And I think I'm going to stop around here with that. I'm gonna cap this one for a second and taking in my iris and placing that so that it is pretty close to where it was to begin with. And then closing it up a tiny bit, taking my graphite here and just making this circle, a very tiny circle. Going back to my Micron PN, and I'm gonna use this pattern for this one. I'm not that good at this one, but I'm going to try. And I don't have that much room, so that is pretty not good. And I'm respecting my side line there. You really want more space for this pattern. Then I have here I'm kind of making a stem and then a orb on top of the stem. Going forth and back with this. That got a bit wonky. And now I'm giving up. I'm giving up on that because that is just too confusing to look at. Maybe I just need to kind of color that piece in because I kind of like the rest of it. Okay, I'm going to try this. See if I can save it. I really wanted that pattern up there, but it is way too small for me to make that look good. So now I'm just trying to save everything that I made here. With a lot of black ink instead of the little pattern that I wanted. And I'm gonna do the same over here, so I'm just gonna draw up this circle line here. Oh, and it's going bit wonky here, but it's okay. And then I am just going to color that in as well. There we go. And then just color it in. There we go. I'm not sure I like that. Okay, but it's like that now. So we will work with it like that. I have a few lines here and there I would really like to get rid of before I continue. But I can't do that around the black here because that will just smear a lot. Because it's that much of black that I have here, so I'm just not going over that part right now. I think that's okay. I need to get rid of some of it right there. I will have to leave this for a few minutes or half an hour and then come back to it and see what I'm gonna do. I have few ideas, but I'm not really sure what to do next, and I really don't like that. Because I actually made this tile before, but now I can't get it to look like it was then. I'm not gonna show you my pre-made tile here before I'm knowing what I'm gonna do with it. I have a blue and a light blue Prismacolor here. This is the Col-erase ones. And I'm thinking of going in here and coloring these here because that was my plan. So I'm gonna do that right away, and then I hope this will get it to look a bit more like I wanted it to. So I'm only giving the top half here with my blue. I need to get rid of this little mistake there. Got a little too much blue out of there. And I'm not pushing my colors into the paper. I'm just letting my pins sliding over or slide over the paper. I'm gonna start over here. It's easier this way around. Then I'm kind of blending the two colors together here. And you can always take a break and pause the video and then come back later if you have to do something else in between. That's all fine. There we go. I'm going to take my white Prismacolor. It's also a color erase. And I'm gonna color in everything that I just did, because it's helping the colors to blend a tiny bit more. There we go. And now I'm going back in with the blue I have here. First the light blue. And this time I am giving it a tiny bit more color than the first time. Whoops, and I'm throwing around with my pens here. And then just going in with the darker one. Like that. And I'm gonna do that in all of these. Here we go. Taking the dark blue and going at the bottom part. And over here. There's my little eraser here. Sorry about that. It's always when I'm sitting here and wanting to draw and record at the same time that my phone is kind of going off. How rude. Anyway, almost done with the dark blue here, and I got a tiny bit here that I don't want. That wasn't the dark, that was the light one. I need the dark one here. There we go. I kind of like to want to get it even darker, and yes, I have a black one here. So I'm thinking about just popping in a tiny bit of the black here on the top. And I got over the line again. Just a tiny bit. I'm not even sure that you can see this. It's not that much of the black one I'm putting in here, but it's there. There we go. And normally I show you the whole process, but I will skip that because I'm gonna do the exact same thing up here as I did here. So I will skip that for you, and I'll come back when I have done this. So see you in a bit. So I had a tiny break, and I did color in both end here, and I found my Micron 01, and this is the darker gray. There is a gray that is even lighter than this one, but I like this darker one, and I'm gonna go in here and make a few of these print arms with this gray color here. To get a kind of lighter transition between the black print arms and then these outer print arms here. And I'm using the holly bar method and going under every time I meet another pattern. I'm just placing them wherever I feel is a nice place for one. Trying to offset a few of them. I kind of like this, and now I want to have one here kind of floating in nowhere. Yeah, I like that. I am going back with my colors, and I found out that this fabric underlay here is not that good for drawing on, so I'm going to bring in one of my books here and just place that underneath. I hope it's not too distracting with the pattern under there. And then I am going to take again, I like to start with my dark color, and I'm starting on the flowers here from the inside and out. Going to my light color, doing the outside here. Now I'm going in with my white and going over everything here, because it makes it blend easier. Well, at least I think so. And now I am going back in with my really dark color here. And I'm giving it a lot more color this time than I did the first time. I might have to sharpen this pen. A tiny bit. It's easier with a nice point on there. Yeah, I'm just gonna go pick my sharpener, just a second. There, I'm back. And then I'm just gonna go forth and back with the dark and the light until I'm happy with the saturations of the color. And it helped a lot to get a little point on here, so I can really get into all the corners of this little detail here. And I'm just taking my time with this, coloring in the small details here of the leaves. And I'm again taking my black and trying to place a tiny bit of that here around the middle point, just to make it a tiny bit darker in there. And I'm gonna do this with all my flowers. And I'm just gonna take my time with this. Then my light blue. And if you have maybe a lighter blue than this one again, you can go in so you have a dark and a middle tone and then a lighter blue at the tip, depending on how big your little flower is or the rooms that you are filling out with the color. Going back with the darker one, and it's like the paper will easier take sorry about that. It's like the paper will easier take the colors again when you have used the white on top of it. That might be a me thing, but it's just the feeling that I have, and I know that when I'm using the white color on there as well, then it is kind of blending a lot better together. You can see, I think I have a nice blend here at the ends. I really like this blue transition here, this ombre transition between the colors. Doesn't even have to be the blue. I like this ombre transition where you have the darker color on the inside and the light on the outside. So I have 3, 4, 5 flowers more that I'm going to do, so I will turn off the camera and do them, and then I will be back. There we go. I think it is time for some shading, but first I see I have a lot of the blue coming out on my white here. That's just the blue, what you call that, the leftovers from the blue coloring, and I have that all over, so I'm just gonna get rid of that before I continue on this one, because I want the background white and not bluish. I'm not sure if you can see the difference here, but I definitely can. So I'm just cleaning it up. I don't know how that happened. Oh well. There we go. Much better. On my original that I'm going to show you a picture of later, I shaded this area here, but I had a blue ribbon around there, and I was thinking about making this blue. So now it's time for shading, and I'm not 100% sure on what I am going to do, but I know that I want a tiny bit of shading here in these small orbs that we have in here. So I just place a tiny bit of graphite and using my Tortillion to soften it out. And I'm gonna do the same up here, but I'm turning it around and doing it from the other side. So just a tiny bit of a she shape, and then using my Tortillion to soften it out on one side here, like that. I kind of like that. And then we have a lot going on down here, so I'm thinking of popping in some shading here over the printemps, not the stems of the flower, but the printemps. Again, using my Tortillion to soften that out. Avoiding the stems here of the flowers. And if you do get a little on the flowers, then you can always go in there with a piece of eraser and then getting rid of that, so that your stems are bright white. It's that easy. I like that. I'm thinking here along this one. The V shape we have going on here, I am just placing a tiny bit of a line of the graphite and then softening that out. There we go. Doing the same on the other side. Placing a tiny bit of my graphite. Using my Tortillion and softening that out. And because this is with this black thing here, I am going to make a tiny line of graphite all the way around here on the inside. nothing crazy, just a tiny line. Again, using my Tortillion, and softening out the shadow. There we go. I really like this. This blue really comes off really easy, so even my little mitten here is not working on the blue color. So it might have been easier with a piece of paper over that part. Oh well. We will eventually get where we want to with this pattern here. I was thinking about just shading this little triangular shape, but now I'm actually thinking of going in there with my blue koi pen and just coloring it in. This is a bold step, but I'm gonna try this. This is my Creolian blue. Yeah, that one. And I'm just gonna make my line here and then color in the space, being very careful that I'm not going over my own lines. This is a really nice blue color. So I'm gonna do the same over here just for the start, because then I could do something else in the other ones. I do kind of like that. I could end here or just do these two as well. I actually think I'm gonna stop with that blue one and go in with my pencil here and make a shading in the other room here. Just going in with some graphite, taking my Tortillion and softening that out into the shadow that I want here. I kind of like that. And then the same over here. This way this card is going to look almost the same no matter how I turn it. Only the flowers here will make the difference. And then of course everything is handmade, so that too will make kind of a different look no matter how you turn it around, but I kind of like this. I think this turns out really, really good. I got a bit of my shadow here in this spot here where I want it to be white. Just making sure it's all white where I want it to be white. I'm gonna do the same down here. I like it. I think that turned out really, really neat. I think I'm gonna stop here, so I am going to take my Micron PN and I am going to pop in my little sign that I am the creator, and my initials. And there it is, the background for a playing card. Now I am going to pop it into my computer and see if I can make it into a playing card. And if I managed, you will see it in a second. So it's now around a month ago that I made this card here for a playing card. And the other day I got this home, so I'm going to open it here with you. Looks like this. So we have a box, of course, and the original. So here it says what I got. I got the playing cards, and the background is that one. The front of these cards are just normal cards, regular cards. So let's turn this around and take a look. Let's remove this extra card here, and there it is. So that's my original, and that's the playing cards, and they are all new, so they are kind of sticking to each other right now. But I think from getting this till using it a few times, when I have used it a few times, I think this is gonna be really nice to play with. It's a really nice set. I actually like this background. No wonder blue is my favorite color, but I actually think they turned out really, really pretty. And they are all here. Clubs and spades and hearts and diamonds, and I think 3 jokers, so that's really neat. Let's go through here. So we have space, king, lady, and knight, and then of course 2 until the 10. There we go. So they are all here, and I really, really think they came out so nice, and the quality is great. The only bad is that I had to get this from a Danish supplier, so I can't make this into something you all can get somewhere. I'm really, really sorry about that. But if you're interested, write me and I will see what I can do for you. But I'm afraid it will be quite expensive to get this set here. So if you know someone that wants to make it into a playing card that you can actually buy here and there, then please let me know. Otherwise, that is from this drawing to a playing card, and I think they turned out perfect. I really, really love them. So that's it for this video. I will have a break in around a weekish like normal, and then we will continue on a new page in the book. So thank you for watching this video. I know it's a long video, but I hope you enjoyed anyway. So see you next time.